Would you pay thousands more for the same exact car just because it has a different badge on the front? You might have done it without even knowing. Most people would say no. But the truth is, they do. And they don't even realize it. You might think you're buying something unique, but it could be nearly identical to a cheaper car. Car companies have a clever trick up their sleeves. It's called badge engineering, and it's way more common than you think. It works like this. A manufacturer builds one car, then rebrands it as 2, 3, sometimes even 4 different models. Same engine, same frame, same electronics, but they slap on a new logo, tweak the styling a bit, maybe change the suspension feel, and then charge more, or market it to a totally different kind of buyer. It's a marketing strategy that's been used for decades. And in this video, I'm going to show you 10 badge-engineered cars that might just blow your mind. These pairs may look different at first glance, but under the surface, they're practically twins. Let's jump in. Here's a throwback from the early 2000s. If you grew up in the early 2000s, chances are you or someone you knew had one of these sitting in the driveway. Back then, Ford and Mazda had a close partnership. The result? The Ford Escape and the Mazda Tribute. They were released at the same time, built on the same platform, and even assembled in the same factories. They offered the same engines, a 2.0-liter four-cylinder or a 3.0-liter V6, and had almost identical interiors. The dashboards were shaped slightly differently, but the controls, buttons, and layout were all familiar. The Tribute was tuned to feel slightly sportier, while the Escape focused more on ride comfort. But again, the differences were small. Eventually, Mazda replaced the Tribute with the CX-5 and moved on. But for a solid stretch of time, buying a Tribute or an Escape was really just a matter of badge preference. 2 names, 1 vehicle, different price tags. Now let's talk about 2 cars that are modern-day legends in the badge engineering world. The Toyota 86 and Subaru BRZ are often seen as rivals. But the truth, they were developed side by side. These cars are basically identical in every important way. They share the same 2.4-liter Subaru Boxer engine, which makes 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. They have the same rear-wheel drive layout, the same 6-speed manual or automatic transmissions, and nearly identical curb weights, around 2,800 pounds. Even the interiors are basically mirrors of each other. Same seats, same dashboard design, same touchscreen system. The differences? Very minor. Subaru tuned the BRZ suspension to be slightly softer, making it a bit more comfortable on rough roads. Toyota's 86 is a little firmer, aimed at drivers who want sharper cornering. Some trims have different wheels or small styling differences, but underneath it all, you're getting the same car. So which one should you choose? Honestly, whichever one you think looks better, or whichever dealership gives you a better deal. If you've ever shopped for a full-size truck, you've definitely come across this pair. The Silverado and the Sierra are both built by General Motors, and while they're sold under different brands, Chevy and GMC, they're built on the same platform, come with the same engine options, and even have nearly identical towing capacities. It's like corporate twins, same DNA, just dressed a little differently. We're talking about the same 2.7-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, the 5.3-liter V8, the 6.2-liter V8, and the 3.0-liter Duramax diesel engine. Whether you choose Silverado or Sierra, you're getting the same power under the hood. So what's the difference? The GMC Sierra is marketed as the more premium option. It often comes with a fancier interior, more chrome on the outside, and luxury trims like the Denali, which adds leather seats, wood trim, and a digital gauge cluster. One standout difference is the tailgate. The Sierra was the first to offer the Multi-Pro tailgate, a cool 6-function setup that folds in different ways to act as a step, a load stop, or a work surface. Chevy eventually added it to the Silverado, and called it the Multi-Flex Tailgate. Yep, same thing, different name. So if you're after a basic work truck, go with the Silverado and save some money. But if you want more comfort and a little flash, the Sierra might be worth the upgrade. This one's especially interesting if you're into luxury SUVs. The Volkswagen Touareg and the Porsche Cayenne were developed together under the Volkswagen Group. They share the same platform and, in the early years, even shared engine options. Both were available with a 3.2-liter V6, a 4.2-liter V8, and even a 5.0-liter V10 diesel. Yes, a V10 in a Volkswagen. The Cayenne was tuned for sporty on-road handling. The Touareg leaned more toward comfort and off-road capability. It had features like adjustable air suspension and a locking center differential. Inside, the two SUVs even shared buttons, screens, and layout elements, though Porsche added more leather and sportier accents. In the end, you were choosing between a luxury Volkswagen or a performance-focused Porsche, with a big difference in price. The 1969 Ford Mustang was one of the most iconic muscle cars of its time. It had the classic long hood, short rear deck, and that unmistakable fastback profile. It looked powerful, and it was. Some versions came with monster V8 engines, like the 428 Cobra Jet that pushed out over 330 horsepower. Just a few years later, Toyota released the 1973 Celica Fastback. And if you put the two side by side, you'd swear the Celica was a baby Mustang. It had the same long hood, fastback silhouette, and sporty design cues. But here's where things split. The Mustang was built for straight-line speed and pure American muscle. The Celica was built to be light, nimble, and affordable. Instead of a big V8, it came with a 4-cylinder engine making under 100 horsepower. It wasn't going to win drag races, but it was great on fuel, easy to drive, and super reliable. The Celica took the look of a muscle car and packaged it into something that the average person could afford and enjoy every day. And it worked. The Celica became a hit, especially among younger drivers who wanted something cool without breaking the bank. It was proof that you didn't need brute force to turn heads. Here's one that might surprise you. Hard to believe, but this Mercedes started life as a Nissan. A few years ago, Mercedes decided to enter the mid-size pickup truck market. But instead of designing a truck from scratch, they partnered with Nissan and used the global version of the Frontier, called the Navara, as the base for the new X-Class. Yup. The Mercedes-Benz X-Class was, underneath, a Nissan truck. They shared the same chassis, similar suspension setup, and the same 2.3-liter twin-turbo diesel engine. Mercedes later added their own 3.0-liter V6 diesel, but the rest of the truck still had Nissan DNA. Nearly twice the price for the same truck in a tuxedo. The interior looked more upscale, and the exterior styling was more aggressive. But the performance and driving feel? Nearly identical to the Navara. And the X-Class didn't sell well. Buyers weren't fooled by the badge, and the truck was discontinued after just 3 years. Meanwhile, the Frontier is still going strong. Now let's look at minivans. They're not the most exciting vehicles, but they've seen some serious badge engineering over the years. For a long time, Chrysler sold 2 nearly identical vans, the Dodge Grand Caravan and the Chrysler Town & Country. Same platform, same 3.6-liter V6 engine, same clever stow-and-go seating system that lets you fold the seats flat into the floor. Even the same transmission. The Town & Country just came with more upscale features, leather seats, power sliding doors, a better sound system, things you wouldn't get in the base-level Dodge. Then in 2017, Chrysler replaced the Town & Country with the Pacifica, a much sleeker, more modern minivan. It had smoother lines, better materials, and even a plug-in hybrid version. But guess what? They still offered a stripped-down version called the Voyager. And it's basically the same Pacifica, just without the higher-end features. Different badges, same van. Back in the 90s, Honda didn't have a true SUV in its lineup, so they partnered with Isuzu. The result? The Honda Passport, which was actually just an Isuzu Rodeo with a Honda badge. Same engines, same frame, same dashboard. In fact, both SUVs were built in the same U.S. factory in Indiana. The key fobs and VINs even followed Isuzu's format. Honda marketed it as their own, but underneath, it was 100% Isuzu. Eventually, Honda launched the Pilot, which was developed in-house. But for a while, people were driving Passports thinking they were all Honda, when in reality, they were Rodeos in disguise. Now here's a luxury pairing that might shock you. The Audi RSQ8 and the Lamborghini Urus are both based on the same Volkswagen Group platform. They share the same 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, same 8-speed transmission, and even many of the same interior components. The Urus has a flashier body, stiffer suspension, and more aggressive styling. It also makes slightly more power, 641 horsepower compared to the RSQ8's 591. But here's the kicker. The RSQ8 actually holds the Nürburgring lap record for SUVs. That's right, it beat the Urus around the track. So if you want Lamborghini performance without the Lambo price tag, the RSQ8 is a bargain. It's proof that you don't always need to spend extra to go fast. Finally, the two titans of the mid-size sedan world, the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord. These two have gone head-to-head for decades, and while their fans will defend them fiercely, the truth is, they're more alike than ever. Both offer 2.5-liter four-cylinder engines with around 200 horsepower. Both have hybrid models. Both get excellent gas mileage, over 40 miles per gallon in hybrid form. And both are known for being reliable, comfortable, and long-lasting. Sure, the Accord handles a little better, and the Camry rides a little softer, but we're splitting hairs. At this point, choosing between them is like choosing between Coke and Pepsi. It's less about the specs, and more about which badge feels right to you. So there you have it. 10 pairs of cars that are secretly the same. Sometimes badge engineering gives you great options. Other times, it's just a way for car companies to charge more for the same thing. Now that you know the truth, you'll be able to spot badge-engineered cars before you buy, and hopefully, save yourself a few $1,000s in the process. If you like this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which pairing surprised you the most.